Hey folks, happy 300th snow day of the year. It feels like already. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going absolutely stir crazy. I'm so tired of this cold. My dogs are really happy, but they'll probably make an appearance during this too, by the way. Anyway, I hope you guys are all safe and warm, and I just wanted to throw some stuff out there for you guys so we can just keep moving along. Today or this week, we're going to start into the first major paper, which is the memoir. Just a reminder, if you have not already turned in your writing exercise one online, please make sure that you do. I'm going to print those and edit that and correct those with a rubric and give those back to you on the 23rd, 22nd when we meet. So I wanted to just go through what you're doing here then this week. I do want you to read chapter 2. It is about the writing process. I know you've probably dealt with the writing process a lot in other writing classes, but it is so incredibly important, and it really is. The whole class is built around it. This idea that we pre-write, we draft our paper, we edit the paper, we revise it, we edit it again, and then we revise it and get it to the point where we're ready to publish and share. So really, really important, and be ready to talk about that in class when we come back together next week. It's going to feel like forever since we've been together. Um, but I wanted to talk to you more specifically today about your memoir assignment. So I also have, I have the assignment, and I also have a link to a website that I'd like you guys to look over that tells you even more about how a memoir differs from different kinds of writing, especially narrative writing. So if you were in my Comp 1 class, you wrote a narrative. It's pretty basic, as in tell me a story, really focus on theme. A memoir is a little bit different. Um, it it's stylistically a little bit different, at least in the way that we're going to be writing it. I want you to think about something major, a turning point in your life or a lesson that you learned in your life. Um, and it shouldn't be something that happened just once, but something that like incrementally, like for instance, when I was younger, it was kind of a pain to go over to my grandparents' house, and we would do it, and I would have these great memories there. And then I would, not go for a while, and then it'd be kind of, oh, we gotta go to grandma's house, and then I'd be happy. And then now that my grandparents aren't with me anymore, it's like I would give anything for those little things. So if I were to write an essay like this, I might tell those little stories and about how that became important, and then how I learned later that I wish I had, appreciated the time I had with them a little bit more, and how much, and not realizing the effect that they had on me. So that's just a really simple explanation of what I'm talking about here. So let me get into the details of the paper so we can make sure that we are all on the same page. I'm going to actually kind of read this through to you. So I hope you're following along on the paper while I'm, maybe pull this up in another window while I do it. Let's take just a second while this is loading up. I think everyone's using the internet right now because of no one's being actually in the office. Okay, so again, a memoir is a factual story that details a period in a person's life. The author uses personal reflection on one or more episodes or events that shaped their experience and ultimately the person they have become. So, for the first of your major writing assignments, you're going to be writing a memoir. This is similar to a reflective essay, but in a memoir, the author strives to capture the essence of an experience or period in their life by recounting a series of events. A memoir tells a story, but does so with a specific focus on three things. First, mood. Mood is created in writing through word choice and tone. If you want to create a dreary mood in your writing, you will use drab words and describe things with dull colors. There are many ways to create mood in a piece of writing, and the best pieces incorporate many of these methods. Imagery, to capture the essence of a time period, is to almost transport your reader into your own memories. Focus on the sensory details, the smells, the tastes, the sounds that make up the memory that you have of the experience. Help your reader feel as though she's right there in your story. And theme. While storyline may be the skeleton of your memoir, holding it together and giving it structure, theme is muscle. As you recount the events you choose to include in your memoir, think about how each instance or scene fits into your intended theme. And as you conclude your story, reflect back on the theme and why it was such an important formative part of your life. Okay, so features of a memoir. It tells a specific story through a series of reflections on real events, building suspense through the use of specific narrative action. So again, using those words, those details that support, that really kind of pull your reader in. It focuses on setting, mood, and feeling to help the reader feel as though they are immersed in the story. It is vivid, focusing much time and space on imagery, specific details, similes, metaphors, and dialogue make the event, as well as the people and places, memorable. I would highly recommend that you include dialogue. It is not required in this paper, but I can tell you one of the best ways you can make a scene come alive is through actual narrative, or that dialogue telling the story, and then he said, and then she looked up and screamed, or that kind of thing. It brings the reader into the story so much more than just saying, and then there was an argument and it was terrible. It is purposeful, trying to give the readers an understanding of why this particular event was significant in the writer's life. It includes self-preservation, but not inappropriate self-disclosures. In other words, you're going to be telling a probably personal story. Honestly, I'm not that worried about it with you guys. But I'm just always knowing that this is a paper that is going to be read by other folks in the class when we're peer editing. So it needs to be something that you're comfortable with anyone in the class reading. Okay. So I can't always guarantee who's going to be able to peer edit for you. It can lead the readers to think in new ways about their own experiences or about how others' lives differ from their own. Hopefully we all can share our stories and learn more about that. For this essay, you will create a memoir about a transformative lesson in your life. This could be a lesson from someone else or a lesson you learned on your own through experience. The story should include 2 or more smaller stories that add up to a larger whole that presents the theme you wish to convey to your reader. Kind of like what I described with, if I talked about like different visits to see my grandparents, and then as I was a teenager and it became kind of a pain, and and all that. So just little stories that all contribute to a larger whole. Okay, here's the requirements that your essay must do the following. Pay close attention to imagery, mood, and setting. Incorporate a good hook, something that grabs the reader's attention early on. And again, include 2 or more scenes or anecdotes. And it should be in first person, letting the author's voice shine through. The paper must be between 1,200 and 1,600 words. I do enforce the top as much as that top limit as much as I enforce the bottom. Each draft, and you will bring in a draft, there's a schedule at the bottom here, must be typed double-spaced in an MLA format, and you will be bringing hard copy drafts to class. So the schedule for this assignment, you're going to do a topic proposal this week. There'll be a prompt in the module to tell you exactly what I want, but basically it's like 100 to 150 words that tells me, actually don't quote me on that. I think it's 100 to 200, excuse me. But basically a paragraph that tells me what you're going to write about, what you feel this overarching theme is, and why you chose it. And that's going to be due. I'd like to have that before we come to class. So that's going to be due Sunday night. And then the following week on the 29th, draft 1 in class, and then draft 2 in class on February 5th, and the final draft will be February 12th. So those are your details for this week. I definitely want you to reach out if you have questions. Make sure, if I know some of you did not attend last week, make sure that you're staying inside, getting in the modules and doing what you need to do, and reach out if you have questions. So I hope you guys stay warm. I hope we get to see each other next week. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. So, but I look forward to working with you guys and reading your papers this week. So have a good one.